Hi, I'm John Stenhouse, Business Support Manager at the University of Essex, your host for today. I'm introducing Business Resilience webinar, One Step Beyond, part of our Space to Grow program. This video and webinar are being recorded and you will receive a copy later on. So don't panic, it will be there for you. And if you want to ask any questions of the panelists who are with us today, then please use the Q&A and the chat boxes. We will then read those out to the panelists at the end of the meeting. So thank you for attending our webinar. We have three presenters today. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Carole Burman, founder of MAD HR, with over 25 years experience of HR around the world working for blue chip companies. So here we go. Carole, please share your screen. Thank you.
Step that they are taking to ease lockdown is not a regressive one. So obviously a lot of what I'm about to share with you is contingent on us continuing on that downward trend. But as I say, there is a 50-page document that outlined a staged approach that starts to talk about where schools and some non-essential businesses will be reopening as early as June. But as I say, it's only if the outbreak is deemed to be under control. So some of the workforce, when you consider your plans for your workforce, some of the questions that you may be mulling around in your head could look something like, well, which people do we bring back and when? What do we need in place before they return? When do they return? When they do return, how should they return? What should we and do we need to be doing? And more importantly, what health and safety measures do we need to be looking at? So in the time that I've got left, I'm just going to cover some of those questions for you. So the first thing is COVID-19 secure. There are 5 steps here, and essentially what government are asking employers to do is to make sure that they have covered each of the points on the right-hand side of the screen as part of the risk assessment process. So you've got to have carried out, obviously under the Health and Safety at Work Act, you have to take all reasonable steps to protect your employees. And obviously because of COVID-19, there is a requirement for you to undertake a specific COVID-19 risk assessment and to share the results with the people who work there. So it's done in consultation with and so that everybody is working very transparently, because in order for this to work and to be successful in its implementation, you need the behaviour of the people that work for you to change so that they are acknowledging that they take some responsibility in making sure that the working environment stays safe and clean. So you've looked at your cleaning, hand washing, hygiene procedures. You've taken all reasonable steps to help people work from home. Essentially, if you're bringing people back to work, you just ask yourself the question, is it essential that they come back to work? Is it safe? And is it mutually agreed? If you have those 3 questions in your head, then actually that's no bad thing in terms of you making sure that what you're asking is reasonable, and then making sure that you're providing that safe environment for people to come back into work. You have to take all reasonable steps to maintain a 2-metre distance in the workplace. And as we know, it may mean that you have got to be busy with masking tape and plotting out what 2 metres looks like, or using display labels to make sure that people actually understand that this is something that's enforced, because you need everybody to change their behaviour in terms of how they operate. And as I say, where people cannot be 2 metres apart, then you've done everything practical to manage that transmission risk. That is what the requirement is. And as I say, there are posters that are available for employers to download that look like the image on the right-hand side for you to demonstrate your commitment to your employees as part of the communication process. So in addition to the risk assessment, what government have also done, and these were released yesterday, is provided 8 guidance documents based on different sectors. So construction and other outdoor work, factories, plants, warehouses, labs and research facilities, offices and contact centres, other people's homes, restaurants offering takeaway and delivery, shops and branches and vehicles. Now, it is recognised that depending on the sector that you are in, it's possible that you may need to use more than one of those guides. So for example, it could be that you have an office, a factory and a fleet of vehicles. So therefore you will be looking to use 3 of the guides that are available. there is a requirement that is going to be enshrined within the law that essentially says to employers that you should publish the results of your risk assessments on your website. And if you are over 50, then employees, then this will become a must. That is what we're expecting to see. So one is a should publish, but anybody who's got businesses with over 50 employees, there will be an expectation that they must do this. I think, understandably, returning to work after a period of lockdown is going to mean that everybody is approaching this next stage with a level of anxiety and nervousness. And therefore it is important to make sure that as part of your communication processes, that all of your colleagues and your teams understand what the new working procedures will look like. So it's important maybe to think about how you're going to induct them back into the new way of working, and how you're going to make sure that your managers, your teams are going to actually make sure that those new procedures, those new working arrangements are going to be enforced, because clearly you can't be everywhere. I would also encourage you to be clear, consistent and regular with your communication, and as the law says, consult regarding the risk assessment and explain and agree changes in the working arrangements. People will always feel better if they're part of the solution rather than it being done onto them. And as I say, make sure that the communication prior to working work, so people know what to expect. So if you have opportunities of being able to sort of do a little induction using Zoom or on a platform like it, then again that helps people know that it's up, you know, their safety and well-being is uppermost in your thoughts as part of this preparation. And as I say, please be aware that people will still be concerned and have anxiety about returning. This could take the form of, you know, their own childcare arrangements, you know, if their children haven't yet returned to school, or it could be that they care for their elderly or family members, or indeed they have a medical condition that means that they've been shielding for a period of time. It's important that you address those concerns. And as I say, just remind yourself of the 3 questions. Is it essential that that person returns to work right now, or is part of the first group of people that return to work? Is it safe for them to do so? And has it been mutually agreed? As I say, it is a whistle-stop tour in the time that I have. But if there is any further information that anybody needs, then I would encourage you, please come and have a look at our coronavirus hub for further advice and guidance. We've got plenty of documents that you can download, whether it be communicating to furloughed colleagues, looking after your well-being, job retention scheme, and obviously we've also got a document that's going to be going up there in the next couple of days all about how to plan for the return to work. So just watch this space. Thank you very much, and John, back to you.
Thank you, Carole. That was a very interesting presentation, and I hope you all took something away from that. So I'd now like to introduce you to Claire Rich. Claire is a high-performance coach, a professional clinical hypnotherapist specializing in stress and anxiety and weight loss. So Claire, please share your screen. Thank you.
So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to the University of Essex for inviting me to be a part of this webinar today. I'm going to be talking about how to survive the coronavirus pandemic and actually thrive so that you can come out of it stronger, fitter, healthier and happier in every way. So it's all about today how you can discover the secret weapon to maximise your performance, well-being and success, and learn how to take your first step on the way to a richer life. I should also add that my background is specialising in stress, anxiety and weight loss, but over the years I've found that I work with a lot of high achievers, high achieving business owners, corporate leaders, and that has led me to develop a specific program for them called the Richer Life Program, which I'll be touching on today as we go through. But what I'm going to talk about now is Richer Life Resilience Training. And I've actually been doing this with some companies to help them to get through this lockdown period. And what we've actually been covering is really important: how to help them, the attendees, maintain a positive, confident and optimistic mindset during the coronavirus pandemic, how to manage stress easily and reduce any normal and natural anxiety, fears and worries that they may have, how to strengthen the immune system to maximise your mind-body fitness for peak performance and success. Really important to have that strong immune system whilst all of this virus is going on. Create and practice healthy, positive daily habits and routines based on the Richer Life Success Formula. Take control of what you can control in a world that is currently very surreal. Obviously, we can't control what's happening out there, but we can control what's happening in our heads. Learn how to switch off, de-stress, relax and unwind easily. Be more focused, motivated and excited about your goals and plans for the future. A lot of people have probably been thinking, well, you know, I can't go out my front door more than once a day, you know, pre the announcement earlier this week. So how the heck can I think about plans for the future? But that's what we're focusing on. So it's ultimately about surviving the lockdown period and coming out of it stronger, so that, you know, you're learning how to maximise your performance, well-being and success whilst you've got the time, because for a lot of people the gift that they've had out of this tragedy is time with family, you know, that maybe they don't usually have because they commute to work, you know, they spend hours at the office. So it's all about how to maximise your performance, well-being and success so you can feel healthier, happier and fitter in every way. And it's based around the 3 core principles that are a part of my Richer Life programme. And this is the success formula for peak performance. Have a healthy mind, a healthy body, and you will have a healthy business. Or if you don't own your business, you work for someone, a healthy career. And that ultimately is the way to a richer life. And there are 3 important elements, as I said, which create this lifestyle plan that I work on with my clients that effectively produces lasting results and allows you to achieve the success you deserve. And the most important core principle, which is the foundation of everything, is the mind. We need this to be strong in order for us to achieve any of those other elements ultimately. So I come at the diet and exercise from the perspective of the mindset, because when we get your subconscious and conscious mind working together, you achieve optimal performance in all areas of your life. And, you know, it's a bit like a ripple effect, dropping a pebble in a pond. You know, when we work on the mind, it affects so many other things aside from the initial goals that we set. The diet is then the next core principle. And as I say, it is a lifestyle plan. I don't work with people on a diet unless it is for health reasons. For example, if somebody was a celiac and they needed to avoid gluten. Because when we say that we can't have something, it's like waving a red rag to a bull and all we can think about is what we're not meant to be having. So it is about having healthy lifestyle choices that help you to achieve your goals, whether that be weight loss, you know, just being healthier and fitter, a little bit slimmer, or whether it's to stop drinking as much coffee or eating sugar and junk food to help to get you through the day at work because you're too stressed out and, you know, winding down maybe with too many glasses of wine to sort of de-stress and help you to get off to sleep. So it covers all those kind of elements depending on what is particularly relevant to the individual. But ultimately, you know, the healthier choices that you make, the better you fuel your body. And how you fuel your body dictates how you think, feel and perform. So looking after it will ensure that you have abundant energy, vitality and good health. And the last one is exercise, because we all know that we need to be physically active, but how many of us that get busy with work, you know, struggle to get to the gym or do the sports and the hobbies, you know, that involve physical exercise to the degree that we want to. And it's essential for our health and well-being, particularly now, you know, even though we've been in lockdown, it's still important to be physically active. But not to overdo it, you know, because obviously we don't want to be injured at this point in time. It's just about looking after our bodies and keeping them ticking over. So when we exercise, it actually affects our brain chemistry as well. So that in turn determines your energy levels because of the mind-body connection. So doing activities that you enjoy on a regular basis will help you to maximise your performance, well-being and success. And I've also been working with people during the lockdown period to help them to legally escape the lockdown and find the way to a richer life. And they've absolutely loved that with the hypnotherapy sessions we've been doing. So a high performance tip for you all. If you've ever accidentally driven your car with the handbrake still on, you'll know that it just doesn't feel right. In fact, it's damn right uncomfortable and the car feels like it is really struggling. And that's often what it feels like when we try to create new positive, healthy habits and ways of being with willpower alone. But when you work directly on your subconscious mind, the physical brain, with someone like myself, you will achieve your goals with minimal stress and ease. And of course, that is the way to a richer life. So the secret weapon is mastering your mindset. And we do this with high performance coaching and clinical hypnotherapy. And for some people who don't want to do the hypnosis, I also have a powerful form of work that I use called brain working recursive therapy. And using this formula equals peak performance and success, which is what we want. And I created this anagram about how to survive and thrive through the coronavirus lockdown, which I'd like to share with you. We need to be courageous, optimistic, resourceful, opportunistic, nice to ourselves and others as we navigate and adapt this virtual world, visualizing victory in our imagination so that we can realize realistic goals, be an unstoppable force to unlock our true potential and ultimately succeed. So let's get into what this is all about today. Business resilience and leadership. Now, there's a highly renowned high-performance success coach in the world of personal development called Robin Sharma, and he's been quietly sharing his wisdom with Fortune 500 companies and many of the super rich for over 15 years now. He has a success formula that has made him one of the most sought-after leadership advisors in the world. He works with some of the most famous and successful high achievers that ever existed. And he's written a great book called The Leader Who Had No Title. He's written many, but this one is the one I want to talk to you about today, about leading without a title, because it's very relevant to the topic. And it's an interesting and valuable read for any high-achieving business owners, corporate leaders, and HR directors. The concept is that regardless of your position within a company, you need to lead without a title. Now, how do you lead without a title? Well, the key takeaways are that you have pride in what you do, no matter how trivial certain tasks can sometimes seem, and you always put in 100%. Everyone is important regardless of their position and status within the business, and everyone is a part of the team, all working together for the common goal. And the coronavirus lockdown has made things more challenging and stressful for some people, but not much different for others, albeit the threat is evidently there. Obviously, some people already work from home. They're used to the solitary kind of confinement existence that we've all been put in as a result of the lockdown. So they're not necessarily as stressed as other people. But what we do need, and what we have needed since all this has kicked off, is to adapt to change fast and be flexible in this new, strange and uncertain world. Because a lot of people who are still working are working remotely, and they are automatically being put into the position where they need to lead without a title, whether they're a manager, a director, a business owner. Everybody is being expected to lead without a title. And that involves learning new technology systems and processes, dealing with all those techno gremlins that come up when we do so, connectivity issues with the internet, all those frustrating things. need to be communicating regularly with your boss if you're not the boss, and your team. Be committed, motivated, disciplined and focused on your goals still, and actually hold yourself more accountable than you've ever done. But of course, all of this can come with stress, anxiety, worry, fear, pressure and overwhelm. We all, feel stress very differently. The coronavirus pandemic is having a devastating impact on the entire world right now, and it's an extremely strange, scary and challenging time for everyone. However, how you think and feel and react during the lockdown has a lot to do with your genetics, your personality type, your belief system, your life experiences, both good, bad, traumatic, if there are some, and your perception of stress. I could go on. This is why some people are worried, sick and living in fear for their lives, and yet others are going round as if nothing's happening. We're all unique, and just as we all relax and unwind differently, we all get stressed, anxious and scared about different things too. Albeit, make no mistake, this is serious stuff, and we all need to be doing our bit to stay safe, alert, control the virus, save lives and protect the NHS and other important key workers on the front line. And of course, this is a really important point to be mindful of if you do manage a team. Now, what I've learnt from working with a lot of high achievers over the years, business owners, corporate leaders, is that they are more prone to stress. And that's because many people don't realise they are stressed or know what stress and anxiety even feels like. Whereas others simply don't want to admit they're stressed, particularly I would say high achievers, struggling to keep all the balls they're juggling in the air and feeling overwhelmed by life. And this is typical of high achievers who are actually more prone to stress than most because of the very fact that they're constantly pushing themselves out of their comfort zone to achieve their never-ending list of challenging goals in order to realise their dreams. These high achievers who dare to dream big and take action are automatically more vulnerable because big visions involve a lot of hard work, time, effort and energy, and constantly push them to raise their game. This is why it's so important to identify and overcome barriers to personal and business growth and success and manage everyday stress more effectively going forwards. So you need to look after your mind, your body and your business. And to reiterate this point, according to the World Health Organization, stress is the #1 illness and disease of the 21st century. Stress is the barrier between what we are and what we can be. It damages your mind, body and business, often without you even realising it. So how do we recognise the signs? Well, some of you and or your team may have already been stressed out, close to burnout, or worse still, actually in burnout before the coronavirus pandemic even began. It's hard to tell how your team members are feeling if you're stressed out yourself and still trying to lead and motivate them at the same time, particularly when you're working remotely. But the reason that you would find it harder if you're stressed yourself is because you're focusing more on you in order to get through the day and to meet your goals rather than others. And it's just a coping strategy and a coping mode that you're in. But you still need to perform, meet your goals, manage your team in order to satisfy the powers that be within the business if you're not the boss. And it's a fact that stress weakens our immune system. And it's not good at the best of times, but particularly now when we need it to be stronger than ever. As leaders, you need to walk your talk and look after your mind, body and business so you can look after others, whether that be your team at work, your family, your friends, and your loved ones. It's about being mindful, listening, observing others so you're aware of when they need your help and support. And above all, be kind and know that there should be no shame or blame. It takes courage for people to open up and admit when they're stressed. And of course, There are different modalities for stress. The first one is the fight response. The second one is the flight response, which we haven't been able to do with the lockdown. So this is why some people who would normally remove themselves from a situation are at best able to go out into their garden. And the third is the freeze mode, where people are literally paralysed with stress and fear. And again, that kind of emphasises the situation we're in lockdown, if people are suffering with a lot of stress as a result of being put in that confined environment. So it's all about turning down the stress. But first we have to find the source of the stress. Identify and overcome barriers to personal and business growth and success is the most powerful part of the process. And we do that by working with your subconscious, which is the part of the mind that ultimately is the control room of everything. If your subconscious programming is faulty, i.e. you have erroneous programs running and consequently faulty core beliefs about yourself and life, then you need to do some important deep mindset work and rewire your brain. Say goodbye to those limiting beliefs and manage everyday stress much easier going forward as a result of this. And let's face it, who doesn't want to achieve their goals with minimal stress and ease? So it's about reprogramming the subconscious mind and having healthy neural pathways, because it's essential to keep the neurological pathways, let's just call them wires for short, in the physical brain healthy, active and finely tuned, reprogramming them as and when necessary. And hypnotherapy is the perfect way to do this. By activating your inner strengths and resources, you can achieve your goals easily and fulfill your true potential. And the Richer Life program that I mentioned earlier, which I have done for high achieving business owners and corporate leaders, is all about mind-body fitness, and it incorporates the 3 core principles essential to creating and maintaining a healthy mind, body and business. As I said earlier, it's a lifestyle plan and it produces lasting results and allows you to achieve the success you deserve. So why high achievers know personal development is a lifelong commitment? It's because it's all about effective stress management. Remember the statement, it damages your mind, body and business, often without you even realising it. So managing stress is an ongoing maintenance plan for high achievers who want to achieve serious success and be the best they can be. And they know it. It's a bit like having a health insurance policy. You know it's safe and smart to invest in one and to have it in place, because taking regular preventative action ensures optimal health and levels of high performance are consistently maintained. So mastering your mindset is definitely your secret weapon. My clients realise that using the power of their subconscious mind is the best and most powerful way to maximise their performance, well-being and success and achieve their goals. They understand that taking time to get professional confidential help is a sign of great intelligence and strength and a sound investment in their business. Together we simply get your subconscious mind working for you so you can work smarter and be even more effective and productive. But that requires being strong and facing the fear, leading by example, walking your talk as a leader and being the absolute best you can be. Because when you master your mindset, you will support, inspire and motivate others to do the same. So inspire, uplift and motivate your team to be the best they can be, and you will have a healthy business. And the way that you guarantee your success, there are 3 key important things here. A solid goal guarantee that achieving your goals will be easy. And that is your belief system, your motivation, and your commitment. You must want it and be prepared to do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. And as a coach, I can certainly help you with the first 2, but the commitment has to come from within you ultimately. And if you've ever tried to change something about yourself, only to find that you keep on reverting back to the same old negative, very frustrating and destructive ways of being, this is because the subconscious and conscious parts of your mind are working against each other. So the harder you consciously try, the more your subconscious mind resists. Imagine a round hole and a square peg. The two don't fit together, so there's conflict, there's a barrier, there's resistance, it feels a struggle. And make no mistake, this is the most powerful part of your mind because it contains your belief system and your programming. And these programs dictate your overall performance and well-being and whether ultimately you fail or succeed. The key to creating positive change is using hypnotherapy and BWRT, which can help you to overcome problems and difficulties that have been troubling you for literally years. You just need to be genuinely committed and motivated to making positive changes to your life so you can achieve your goals and have the life you deserve. And of course, if you believe something's going to be difficult, then it probably will be, because most people get what they expect. You know, the faulty belief, I can't set that goal, I'm not good enough, that's too big for me to achieve. I'm a failure, I'll never be able to achieve that. I always fail everything I try. Good things just never happen to me. I can't be selfish and put myself first. People depend on me. You know, and so on and so forth. The key take home here is be careful what you look for. Always focus on what you do want and not what you don't. Guard your focus like you do your life because it creates your reality. Give your subconscious mind positive goals to focus on achieving for you and be crystal clear about what you want to achieve. And here are two very powerful quotes. It's hard to fail, but it's worse to have never tried to succeed, by Theodore Roosevelt. And by Dennis Waitley, another powerful one. Failure should be our teacher, not our undertaker. Failure is delay, not defeat. It's a temporary detour, not a dead end. So the high performance tip of the day is always focus on positive thoughts because the thoughts you think and the words you speak create your experiences. It's important that you visualize your goals, set your goals, write your goals down, and then start mastering your mindset. And we do this with hypnosis. And there are many benefits of hypnosis before we even work on your specific goals. That you feel calmer and more relaxed, more positive and confident, energized, focused and motivated, like you've had a power nap, able to think and recall information much easier and faster and get a good night's sleep. And people are often left with an overall feeling of well-being that lasts for a good while after. But it's worth noting that hypnosis on its own does nothing more than provide temporary relief from stress and anxiety. It's the actual therapy that is carried out whilst the client is in the hypnotized state, known as hypnotherapy, that is the important part. And you can find a lot more about that on my website, as I've just jumped through that slide today as I'm close to time. So it's all about having a positive mindset and embellishing that and imprinting that in the subconscious mind, having a positive mental attitude. I can do it. And the second tip is that the mind doesn't recognize the difference between something you've imagined and something that hasn't happened yet. So when you master your mindset, you will achieve every goal you set yourself with minimal stress and ease. So the key to business resilience, positive leadership, high performance and success is mastering your mindset. High performance coaching, clinical hypnotherapy or BWRT equals peak performance and success. Set your goals around the 3 core principles that I talked about today. Thank you for listening. I hope to help some of you take the next step to maximise your performance, well-being and success. And obviously to survive the coronavirus lockdown, thrive and come out of it stronger, fitter and healthier in every way. Obviously questions you'll post on the chat box. And one final quote to leave you with: the pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects the wind to change, but a leader adjusts the sails.
Thank you so much, Claire. Absolutely fascinating. I feel a lot less stressed now, but at least I know where to go and get help and support. And with that in mind, I'd now like to introduce you to Ashleigh Seymour-Rutherford, Chief Executive of Colby, the Colchester Business Enterprise Agency, delivering dedicated support to businesses. Over to you, Ashleigh. Please share your screen.
So my name is Ashleigh Seymour-Rutherford, and I have the privileged position of Chief Executive for Colby. And I wanted to take a look first off at who we are. Colby is a not-for-profit organisation, and we are dedicated to supporting businesses. Our mission is to inspire and nurture businesses for success, positively impacting people and communities around us. And we've done this over our 37-year history by providing business advice, training, office space for new start businesses, meeting training room hire and virtual offices. We were established in 1982 in the early times when enterprise agency movement started in the 80s. And we are now therefore one of the oldest enterprise agencies in the country still operating. We're a not-for-profit agency here to provide support, advice and guidance for businesses based in Colchester and surrounding areas throughout all of Essex. Over the last 30 years, we have been working with partners, councils and businesses to collaborate to bring real value-added programs to entrepreneurs and people wanting to look at setting up their own businesses, as well as supporting those businesses throughout their business growth. We've worked with Colchester Borough Council over the last 30 years around incubation space. And we opened up our first Central Colchester Incubation Centre on 1 George Williams Way in 2003, followed in 2010 by the North Colchester Incubation Centre, which is on the Severals Business Park. Over those two business centres, we've got 58 tenants, and in the centres, we've worked with over thousands of businesses over the years, created more than 2,000 jobs, upskilled those businesses and their employees. And overall, we have a 70% long-term success rates with the tenants that we work with within our incubation centres. We've also become really well known for championing women into business. We recognise that women have a different set of challenges when it comes to setting up their own businesses, as they're coming into business from different walks of life, often having taken breaks from work. And we felt that creating a safe space and forum for bringing women together to tackle these challenges whilst receiving professional advice and guidance really propelled their success. And since 2007, we have designed several entrepreneurial programs, more recently known as In the Market for Success. Our last program is currently being completed, and in the challenging times are having to convert the last two sessions online. We've won 2 awards through the National Enterprise Network over the last 2 years. First one being around Enterprise Engagement Champion of the Year. And this was primarily focused on the work that we did for our women in business, bringing together a collaborative community and support and working with local businesses, primarily Fenwick, to bring a competition to our female entrepreneurs and propel their success going forward. So before COVID-19, we have been providing business advice right across all of Essex. This is what we believe, this one-to-one professional guidance is absolutely crucial for individuals to ensure that they create a setup and a future growth that is set out and well planned. We've been delivering this in partnership with local councils in Colchester, Chelmsford, Rochford and Braintree, and fully funded by Colby and its sponsors. And we offer 3 one-hour sessions which is complementary for pre-start, startup and developing businesses. So when we faced the COVID-19 crisis, first off, we worked intensely with our tenants to get them all to home working. As you can imagine, getting 58 businesses as well as ourselves ready was quite a task, but we managed that within quick time. And we moved all of our services online. We have a 3CX phone system which connects both of our business centres and Colby's operations, which has an inbuilt video conferencing facility, which has enabled not only ourselves, but all of our tenants to revise the way that they work. And all of our business advice sessions are now delivered online, one-to-one, with a business advisor through our 3CX phone system, where we have screen sharing and also the capability of videoing your session for you to take away and reflect on the advice that you've been given. We've recently been given some grant funding by Colchester Borough Council to support the work that we're doing through the COVID-19 crisis. And we've also extended this advice and guidance to any stage business in Colchester and wider Essex that needs to talk to somebody, that needs to talk to an advisor on where to access grant funding, how to plan cash flow, emergency funding, finance, business plan, future strategy, training for the future, and of course, resilience planning, which this whole webinar is all about. So we believe that this advice and guidance is crucial during the COVID-19 phase to ensure that we help as many businesses to survive. But also we have seen an influx of new business inquiries, because of course, within any situation, there will always be new opportunities to seize. And we're really pleased to see that in Colchester, over the last 2 weeks, we've had 10 new business inquiries. So that's really promising for the future. The upcoming support and entrepreneurial training that we have on our radar, in addition to our one-to-one business advice, is one-to-one online professional advice surgeries with our sponsors. And we're planning to do these around law, marketing, and accounting. In addition to that, we have an upcoming entrepreneurial program, which is focused for our more maturepreneur audience. Again, recognizing that people facing redundancies or making a change within their career break will have a different set of challenges, and working with our trainers to ultimately look at their skill set and understand what kind of successful business that they can create for themselves going forward. We're looking to run the first course in Chelmsford in either July or September, and the Colchester one in September or December. So please look out for these. Our Colby business advisors who work with us are experienced and diverse. Keith Powell is probably one of our most experienced advisors and is a true generalist, although he holds a marketing and IT specialism. James Cracknell is a SVEDI accredited business advisor, and he's been working with Colby, Colchester and Essex for many years, as well as mentoring Suffolk as an advisor. James is also the co-founder of The Weave, and he is an entrepreneur in residence at the University of Essex and is very well connected. Additionally, we have Mandeep Gabhari, who has run numerous businesses himself, and he has speciality in the hospitality sector around restaurants and event management. And he's also been working with the Prince's Trust since 2003. Catherine, or better known as Fryn Arnold, is our creative specialist, and she has also been a lead trainer on many of our Women in Business programs. So if anybody is seeking advice or guidance, we do urge you to please, give the team a call. Visit our website, have a look at what is available, and any of our team are able to guide and advise you and book you onto an advice appointment. Thank you very much for your time today, and we look forward to connecting with you and your business in the future.
Thank you, Ashleigh. Now we know where to go and get help and support after the COVID is all over. But don't forget, there is no wrong door. You can go and get support from any of the panelists that we have provided to you today and in our other webinars. So if you have any further questions, please contact us at uez@essex.ac.uk. Thank you.